W7ATS, checking in area. Hi Wade, this is M7CS. Can you do me a favor and see if the YouTube stream is working for you? Affirmative, I will check that. DYS, that's 61245. Hi Dave, I got your test loud and clear. Nice to see you back. This is M7CS. Alright, let me go back to weather. W7ITL calling 7CS. This is W7ITL, and it looks like the YouTube is working. Okay, thanks for that. For some reason, when I try to pull it up on the normal link at my house, I'm getting a screen is not, what's the error here? It's telling me the live event is no longer available. How are you getting to it, Wade? I'm just using the main link on the web, and I'm in the studio as well, and the studio seems to be working. Yeah, confirming the studio seems to be working just fine. It's just trying to access it as like a regular person. That's where I'm getting the error, which I have not seen that before. Wait, so you went to the normal WW7ATS website and clicked the streaming link there, and it works fine? Yeah, I'm watching it right now. It's got about a 3-second delay, but it's working. Okay, well, I guess it's just something weird at my house then. I'll see if anybody else says anything about it. Okay, thanks. M7CS out. Clear.
7QKU, no, I see the streaming. I see Wade. He looks good.
Ron and Dave for confirming it's working. Thanks a lot, M7CS. evening, this is the Western Relations and Anarchy Development Society net on the OA machine at 87CYM, Western Washington Amateur Society. This is amateur radio enthusiast. This is Railways with Sam Kennedy. Repeater located up on Bigger Mountain and 70 centimeters across Sam repeater and puts out images on 20 gigahertz. We're also on the internet on YouTube, and by our address, just Google WW7ATS, Google WW7ATS, and that'll give you a link to our frequencies and also an application to go live, to get this going live. Anyway, I'll take a pause at this point. In case anybody has an emergency contact, or needs to make contact before the next gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, 87YM. Moving on, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the OA machine. I'm Dave, 87YM. Also, check in by video link already this evening is Ron, 87QKU, Jessica, AS7QHJ, Bert, N7CZ, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, A7ITX, Wade, W7ITL, Jim, A7QO, James, WU7S, and we have a guest this evening, Joel Golf. And everybody else just check everything out this evening. KJ7, Yankee Mike. And the man is technology KJ7, Yankee Mike. And we'll start off the net with Ron, 87QKU.
Thank you very much, Dave. KD7ZYM in the group, KD7QKU. So we have Joel with us tonight on I commented earlier, he has quite a chair there, he's relaxing in. And I guess we were hoping that maybe Matthew Lawson would show up, KC7EQO, but maybe there's a possibility he might show up a little bit later. He was invited. He lives in Sequim. He has a 2-meter repeater and a 70-centimeter repeater, and he's interested in amateur television, at least was once. We thought we could maybe touch bases with him again. So I don't have too much to report. I don't do anything anymore, just stay home. We do a few things. Like today, my wife had purchased a couple of pillows from Walmart, so we drove down towards Lakewood, and she took them back to Walmart, and then we came home, and she and her sister and niece had gone up to Puyallup, and they had it's called At Home, I think, the store. I don't know if any of you have seen one. My goodness, it's a big store. So she had a rug she wanted to return, so we drove up there, and traffic was not good Saturday. Should have went some other day, but we did. Nothing else to do, so drove up there. She returned that. And like I say, if you want things for your house, decorations, I would call it. Oh my gollies, what a store. It's like a Walmart store. Gigantic thing. I didn't really look around. I walked in the front door and looked, and that was about it. Went back to the car. So anyway, that's it over here in Tacoma for right now. So back to net, KD7QKU.
we didn't go on. That's okay. We have other plans. We have a new trip planned, but we'll get back to that later. Ron, I agree with you completely. When you go to one of those big box stores, it's just like full of stuff. It kind of sucks the life out of me. I like to turn around and go back and sit in the car and listen to NPR. It's just a little more relaxing than just so much stuff. So much stuff. It's just like too much. So good evening to everybody in the group. Lots of extra faces I don't normally see. That's kind of cool. And so good evening to you all. This is Jeff Gafford over at KS7 UHK. Okay, well, good evening to everyone tonight. Let's see what I've been doing today. Late last night I got an email invite to the Arizona ATV business meeting they were doing because I contacted them back when I was visiting my father in Arizona a couple months back, so I attended that today. It was a nice little meeting, just talking about what they've got going on and stuff. One interesting thing they said was that apparently in Arizona, so you can get a ham license plate, or, Richard, we're only getting a blank white screen. Okay, he's looking into it, okay. Yeah, but in Arizona, if you want a ham license plate for your car, it's $25. But apparently $17 of that 25 ends up going into a fund for all the amateur radio clubs in the state. So the ATV club there gets $250 a year from that license plate fund. Which I thought was, I've never heard of anything like that in Washington, or maybe I just don't know about it. But might be something to look into. What else is going on? Well, it was a nice and sunny day here in Marysville until around 3 p.m. and then fog came out of nowhere and just couldn't see very far. So that was kind of interesting. Oh, and then earlier in the day, I heard my phone go off with an alarm. I thought, okay, here's another Amber Alert. And I look at it, and it's a tsunami advisory. So that got my attention and woke me up better than caffeine would normally do. So I had to go check the news on that. And let's see. So that's probably good for now. It's nice to see, 11 people on video checked in, and I think I heard another analog-only check-in on the radio, so that's really cool. But anyway, this is N7PS in Marysville. Back to the next one. Good evening. Let me get myself switched in here. Okay, that should come over to me. Hello everybody. I've been AWOL for a bit, but glad to be back, and I can see some new faces. I've got welcome to Joel, and if I got the call right, KG7YYM Caleb, and I thought there was one more, but now I can't remember. Anyway, nice to see you folks joining, and also I noticed there's a lot of email to catch up on, a lot of stuff, a lot of ATV stuff going on, so I have not even begun to look into that yet, but it looks like a lot of interesting stuff there as well, so I think that's good for starters. I'll send it back to Net Control. Okay, thank you. Let's get a look at it. Okay, now that was we got the cord on one. That got me anyway. I don't know why she does that there. I guess it's when I fall asleep and I'm not looking. So anyway, yeah, no, it's great to have Joel show up after a couple times. That's how it kind of works with us. You check into the net, and eventually we just want you to become a member is how it works, kind of. So anyway, I had some technical difficulties. I lost power to the ground stream, and so I was kind of scrambling at the start, but it looks like I think I've got that under control now. My camera's kind of messed up here, so I gotta swivel that around a little bit. There we go. So, gosh, a tsunami. What do you say about that? Yeah, I was actually watching some of my YouTube channels when that volcano erupted in Tonga, and caused all the difficulties, and saw a little bit of coverage. Not much, they couldn't really get much out of what was going on over there. I think Congo lost their internet, and the internet is everything now. But the thing that really amazed me, the report that I got later today, this afternoon, was they could hear it to the eruption in Anchorage, Alaska. And I heard it from several places. I mean, how you can hear it that far away, that's pretty amazing. So I'm not convinced, but I am skeptical, but maybe it really did happen. So we'll follow up. Anyway, that's it for right now. This is K7ITX back to net control.
K7ITX, yet again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society non-operated machine for ID on KCD7YF. Let's get away, W7ITL in Tacoma. This is W7ITL in Tacoma. Yes, that's, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have my Zoom, my second camera pointed at my TV, and it is a bit fuzzy tonight. I don't know if that's an artifact of the fog that's going on. Maybe the 1.2 gigahertz is getting interrupted by that letter in the air. It's really fuzzy tonight. Let me make a couple comments here, and welcome a couple of folks to the net. Joe, KJ7SFR, it's nice to see you on camera. And I did take kids calls, but I'm sure I'll hear it later. Welcome to the net. Let's see, Ron, Taylor, I thought we got, and then something about at home. I've never heard of that store, big store somewhere. I don't know if that's in Tacoma or Lakewood or Seattle. You have to tell me more about it later. And then Bert, $25 license space in Arizona. I did not know that they had a program which also looks like some of the proceeds go to paying or helping amateur radio clubs. That was a really cool program. And then here in Washington, we have a program that does not, I don't think it funds any of the amateur radio community. So that is cool that Arizona is paid tribute to the amateur community on radio. Let me see. I did not know about the Tonga eruption. I think you said you could hear other around more about what happened there. And welcome back, Bob. Let's see that. W7ITL back to net. W7ITL, thanks for coming in to the net this evening. Let's go to jet 1720.
7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, everyone. And Joel, I see you there. Welcome. Dave, we missed you. Welcome back. And Bob, I wasn't aware that you went anywhere, but welcome back. Let's see. Bert, you'll have to tell us a little bit more about ATV in Arizona when you get a chance. Several years ago, on Mario's website, he was actually advertising some sort of association with an ATV group in Arizona, possibly even two different groups. But he does not seem to be doing that now, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Dick, I did not hear about that volcanic eruption being audible in Alaska. That's pretty impressive. I did see some video of that, evidently from space, and it appeared to be pretty darn dramatic to see from that far away. Wade, thanks for broadcasting the video there. Yeah, I'm still not in the shack. That's why I'm here with
without a picture, so at least it doesn't look like there's anything new in the repeater room there. Of course, we probably couldn't even see the spider web the way the picture looks now. Anyway, back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you. That looks really great. WW7ATS, Philadelphia.
Thank you, Dave. It's good to have you back. I made some technical corrections here. How's my audio tonight?
Excellent.
Okay, well, that's something about older equipment, older operators. You easily divine what happens. I found that there was actually a problem with my amplifier on my mic gain, and that was corrected. So I should be working better. Well, Bert, I have to say I feel a little jealous. You got the shatter your nerves loud, emergency alert on your phone this morning. I did not get that, and I'm wondering why. I thought I had my phone set for a full nerve-shattering effect every time, some kid gets reported missing anywhere in the United States, but I guess mostly in the Northwest here. But I didn't get that, and I was surprised to see it when I woke up and actually got on the computer, so to speak, and saw that there was, a tsunami alert for the West Coast of the U.S. I thought it was just amazing what the satellite did. So I have to say, Bill, I got to the satellite that actually caught this, because I remember watching a James Bond movie, a decade or two ago, and there was a scene where he's got like a little joystick, and he actually makes the satellite zoom in and can see the destroyed installation has one person walking away from it, very dramatically with a blanket, and I remember we all laughed so hard at that. Oh, man, you can never do that with a satellite, but this is pretty darn close. I mean, they actually were able, I'm assuming from an LEO, to get the thing, either that or it blew up awfully fast on multiple passes and stitched together a video. That is absolutely amazing. So anyway, Ron, big box stores, with everybody getting ready to deliver to their door, I wonder what that's going to do, particularly in high real estate value markets. Is it going to be worth it to have giant warehouses filled with stuff? Or will they still have the giant warehouses filled with stuff, it's just we won't go in them anymore? I don't know. It would be interesting to see if all of everything inside the store gets replaced with little robots that drop in boxes to deliver to us. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's me here in Northeast Bellevue. Dave, once again, glad to have you back. Jessica, I do want to hear your cruise story. I definitely want to hear that because I've been tracking that, and I understand Norwegian had to interrupt right in the middle of a cruise and turn the ship around in the middle of the ocean, so that must have been kind of bad. So I'm interested to hear your story because I know you were playing this game with the cruise company last we heard where they were not canceling but sending you, customer death threats or something. So anyway, I'm interested to hear what they finally came up with. This is James WW7ATS turning back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WW7ATS, thanks for that. And that's Mr. Molly, the C-N7KC in Port Angeles is checked in. We'll come to them later. And this is J87BYM here in Lake City. Oh my, busy day upgrading a couple of computers, software. I think I took about a half-hour time between two computers today. I'm going to hit domestic chores. And I did get the notice for the tsunami on my cell phone, but I also got a message for the snowstorm on the East Coast. Now, go figure, why would they send that on my iPhone? But I did get that today. And as far as the trip went down to Arizona, if that was fine, coming back I did use the N95 mask, the approved mask with the yellow band on it. I will say both bands broke on two masks I had. So I don't know what kind of plastic was used instead of elastic on the N95 mask. But it was a failure. I was able to use a cloth mask to put over the top of the N95 and hope to it in my head. But I was just disappointed with the quality of that. But I will say after 7 hours on an N95 mask, I do have sympathy for them.
healthcare workers to keep the mask on for a long period of time. It was the most uncomfortable time of my life of having a mask on my face for a long period of time. And oh, how it was wonderful when I got back into Seattle to put the mask on my face and be able to breathe not my air, but the air in the air and away from people. So that was pretty good. Yeah, this is Dave, City 7 BYM. Let's go to Joel Golf.
Good evening, everybody. KJ7SXR Joel here, and it's good to join in your guys' net and see everybody on Zoom. Haven't been up to a whole lot. I've been under the weather for the past couple days and finally feeling better today. So finally I got myself out of the shack I've been sitting in for the past couple days and got outside and tinkered with some antennas for a little bit and played around on HF some more slow scan television and FD8 of course, and I was looking around online for ATV equipment, and I don't know if that's something I should even attempt at the distance I'm at or not. Still contemplating that. I was actually talking to a local ham in the area, and there's a old 440 machine that's not in service right now, but it needs to move from the residence that's down the road from me, and talking about storing it here at the house for the time being, and maybe getting that on the air here. I know they got some plans. They want to eventually put it up on the antenna up on the water tower here in Roy and set it up for better community use, but no sense in it just sitting around not being used, so got to talk to them about that, and we'll see what happens. And I'll send it back to net. KJ7SXR. Connected S7KD.
We'll try one more time for contact KC7YYZ. Apparently no response. Well, let's go back up to the top of the list and go to Ron. 87QKD.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. KD7QKU here. Yeah, so I had sent Lee a text, and he told me he had company, but I guess he moved away from the company, so here he is. It's nice to see him. And, let's see, Wade, you asked about that store, that at home. So your wife would probably really enjoy it. So what you do is I went across 512 over to Puyallup, turned up, went up Meridian, and it's on 37th Street. As you go south on Meridian, you turn left, and you can't miss it. Once you turn left on 37th, you'll see this gigantic store. And like I say, it's just full of stuff for houses, and outside it had pots too, it had lawn furniture, it had all kind of stuff, but it's basically for things in your house. And like I say, I walked in the front door and just kind of looked left and right while my wife went to return something, and then I turned around and walked back out. And I got that message on my alarm for the tsunami. And of course that tsunami was caused by a volcano that erupted on the bottom, I guess, floor of the ocean somehow. So it was quite a deal. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I don't...
Just so you know, you're on Cougar, Ron. Lee can't hear you, but that's okay, just so you know.
Okay, I just switched over. Can you hear me now, Lee? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I have two places here. I have to make sure I'm on the right one. Thanks. switcher. All right, I'll turn it back to net for now. Oh, and the fog. Oh my goodness, it was foggy. It's been foggy here 2 days. It was foggy all the way to Puyallup, but when we got into Puyallup, the fog actually cleared, and I saw some blue sky for a few minutes. But it's much foggier here where I live than it is elsewhere. It's really quite foggy. I imagine it would be difficult driving out there right now. All right, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, let's go to Jessica, KF7, KF7, yeah, it's foggy up here in Everett too. It was like a tenth of a mile, maybe a quarter mile of visibility. It was very, very, very foggy. Yeah, our big long trip from Italy to Miami, we canceled that. We got a bunch of money back, and then we put money and credits towards our next big cruise, which is coming up this next December, and it's going to be to Alaska, and it's a 14-day where they drop us off by airplane in Anchorage, and we'll have 7 days on the ground doing these different things with tour groups, and then we'll jump on the boat and come back through the inside passage of Vancouver and down to Vancouver, BC, where they'll fly us back to SeaTac. And I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's also going to be winter time, so who knows what that's going to be like. I'm absolutely curious. Hopefully we won't have to rent a car anywhere because I don't like driving in snow, and it should be winter time up there. Let's see, we got our printer, our new Epson EcoTank printer working, and it's working really nicely actually. We're really pleased with that. We had to run a little program, internal program to clean the print head, so it printed right, and it actually looks very nice. I'm really quite impressed, and it was very inexpensive. And I didn't get the shattering alert for that tsunami, but I did get an alert on the telephone that I couldn't go past until I said, okay, I acknowledged it. So with that, up in Everett, this is KF7, UHK. KF7, UHK, this is the W7ATS, I'm Port Angeles. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3, am I on? Okay, very good. All right, we're here in 7KC in Port Angeles. We had dinner guests here, some well-vaccinated and boosted people, neighbors, and so finally pushed them out the door. Anyway, hey, good to see everybody, and especially Joel. This is kind of fun. I was surprised actually, Joel, when I signed on and I saw you there. Of course, I knew who you were right away. I guess you've got a profile. Someone said Ron told me of yourself, but I've got one that maybe I can even show here in a few minutes. Now, here's the big deal. I got an email from Dave today, and he says that I get a tracing of the pressure wave from the volcanic eruption this morning. And I said, not likely, because I only sample every 10 minutes, right, on the barometer. Well, guess what? Something was very lucky, and what I want to do is I want to share. I want to go to right here it is. This is at 4:30 this morning, and here is. So it was a pressure wave, which has notice down here it's got a second component to it. So the pressure went up and it went down, and it actually took the better part of an hour to do it, and that's why I've got this tracing. Well, I don't know, better part of an hour. Something in here. Anyway, this is the positive. This is when the pressure increased. This is when the pressure decreased, and then it went back into its normal routine. So how about that? That's pretty cool. Anyway, let me start. Did everybody see that? It's as good as anybody got. It's just like dumb luck, Anyway, thanks folks for alerting me. And you know what? I didn't know to look until I read Cliff Mass's little blurb and told me the exact time to look. And then when I went back and took a look, there it was. Who knew? Anyway, so that was fun. I don't have anything else. With that, I'll send it back to Matt. And 732, back to you, Chris. 732, thank you for that answer. ID again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. H87CYN for ID. Looks good at birth, and 17 birth, and there you go.
Okay, well that is awesome, Lee, that you were able to find that on there. I wasn't sure at the time either until I later saw clips of vlog as well where he talked about it being at 4:30 in the morning. But it is amazing that we recorded like that pressure anomaly from I don't know how many thousands of miles away Tonga is. I'd have to check the map, but it's just amazing that we can see that from here. So because of that, I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility that the people in Alaska actually heard something, since we can detect the pressure wave on instruments up here. But let's see, Jim, you were asking about more about the Arizona ATV group and like what association they're with. There was something called the Amateur Television Network. They have a bunch of linked repeat. Yeah, we can talk about that maybe in our next business meeting. They keep asking us to join, or they keep asking me, but I said, I'm not an officer or a board member, so there's nothing I can do about that. You'll have to talk to the other guys, but that's something for later. Jessica, I've never heard of an Alaskan cruise in December before. The one I went in October was actually pretty late in the season, so I'm curious to see what company is actually doing an Alaskan cruise in December, because that's probably a better chance to see the Northern Lights. I didn't get a chance to see them when I did my cruise, so that actually sounds pretty cool. And that's probably good for now, so this is Bert and Marshall in 7CS. Back to that.
In 7CS, back to that. Let's do the pop. 2962.
Well, hello again. Okay, well, I took a bunch of notes, so I'm going to go very quickly through what I have. I have ham plates here in Washington, and as many here do, I'm sure, but it's nice that we don't get charged extra for it, but they also don't kick back anything to the group. So there's a little setup fee, and then after that, it's just like having a regular license as far as what they charge. With the volcano in Tonga, I thought that was an interesting comment about them losing internet and not getting communication out. And where were the hams? Where were all the hams on Tonga? I'd like to know that. I did not get an alarm. I configured my phone to the absolute bare minimum alarms, which I think is probably Amber Alert and Presidential Alert, something like that. Jim, as far as being off the air, yeah, I didn't travel anywhere. I just was not here. Look at something, put your hands on it, and rather than just hope that it's what you are thinking it's going to be and have it, come out in a machine or get delivered to your home. Very cool on the barometer, Lee. Very cool. And as far as Ron being foggy, it was foggy here all day. I was expecting it to burn off and get out in the sunshine a little bit, but it never did. So, okay, that's my notes. Back to that K9P2.
K9P2, let's do the K7ITX. Richard, okay.
Okay, well, gee whiz, what a great turnout tonight, and Lee, that is so impressive, and so you're 4:30 in the morning versus, I think the actual event in Tonga was probably closer to like 1:30 or 2, I think it was closer to 1:30 our time, because I was up, and I know I wasn't up at 4:30 in the morning. And plus, the other interesting aspect is, I think the sound that was recorded or reported, and maybe recorded, but reported in Alaska occurred, now I heard 4:30. Now whether that was their time or our time, I don't know. But it's all super, super interesting, and I guess this will all shake out. So anyway, thanks a million, Lee. or I don't know, that's just good luck. Or there's another term for that as well, but I won't say it. So anyway, golly, so I'll just send it back to net control. K7ITX.
K7ITX, let's go to Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL. W7ITL here in Tacoma, and let's get it back to things out of the way here. So Ron, I will have to ask the wife if she knows about that at Homestead as well. It sounds like a pretty cool place. It's like a place in Lakewood called Homestead, I think. That's the place she likes to frequent every weekend, so maybe we'll take her over there tomorrow. Let's see. That's that. I think you said something about a trip to Alaska during the winter. Good luck to you on that, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun to go even see the Northern Lights. Let's see, Lee, that was really cool that you were able to record the pressure wave for the Congress election. I don't know if anybody heard the election, I did, and I'm kind of curious to know what time it was recorded. It was 1:30 or 4:30 right time, so we'll find out. Maybe we'll have more information on that. Great. Let's see, James Bond and something about satellites. I don't really know if I've ever seen that movie with the satellites and showing elections or whatever was happening there, James. And then David, I didn't know that N95 masks were so hard to wear. I've actually never worn an N95 mask before. I usually prefer the throwaway ones. So I thought maybe you were talking about the KN95, which is the Chinese version of the N95 mask. I guess this just got approved in some of the hospitals nearby here where I live. So this is a surprise of photo on the N95 mask. Let's see, ATV gear, Joe, I don't know if you were saying that you had some or were going to try to find some. I think I actually have a receiver. I don't know if Ron, you might be able to get a hold of that. If I don't need it, I could probably loan it to you for down cover so you can see the signal. At least you can see if you can see from your location. And then the 430 or 70 centimeter range, you're going to look into putting up on a, maybe work on putting up on the water tower out there and what. Good luck on that if you do that. Let's see. I'll play it one more time. And let me see, just get a couple things out of the way for me. So, this Friday, I found out that I might have COVID. So I went immediately and got tested with the rapid test. But before I found the rapid test, I was able to get a hold of some of those mail-in tests. And surprisingly, I was very fast to return results on those. I turned them in Friday morning, and I got them back today around noon. And so both tests came back negative for the whole family. Excited about that. And then for the rest of the afternoon, I worked on some antenna work as well. And fixed a LoRaWAN/helium hotspot that I had to work on. My SD card failed in it, so I had to put a new SD card in there. And it just finally came back online, so pretty excited about that, if anybody knows about helium. So I'll end with that. This is W7ITL, back to Matt. W7ITL, back to the Let's go to Covington for Jen, M720.
7 Kilo, thank you, Dave. Well, Wade, good deal with the negative test result there. That could be rather stressful until you get an answer. So that's good. The cool display on that barometer, that's outstanding. That's excellent. Like whoever it was that said that's how many thousands of miles away. That's quite impressive to a bump at all. Calm wind, no wind at all, but foggy for much of the day, and it's certainly more foggy now than it was earlier. Bert, thank you for mentioning that amateur television network. That sounds very familiar. I think Mario used to be associated with that in the past, and that sounds about like what I remember from seeing his previous information on the internet. I don't know if do anything with them, but that's something to discuss at some meeting down the road. As if we don't have anything to do right now. Anyway, back to you, Dave. 107QO. 107QO, Jim. There's a little bit of static confirmation on it. If we get a loose antenna wire, or maybe the microphone's a little wiggly at the basic radio, but it's breaking a little bit for your information. And this is Dave, 87DY. So let's go to James, WW7ATS. Well, thank you, Dave. Well, I have to say congratulations, Lee. That is work and amazing. I think that's right in there with the Japanese satellite in the actual eruption, as far as I'm concerned. That is amazing. Now, one thing, somebody did ask me where Tonga was, and I immediately responded, well, of course, it's southeast, south of Fiji, and that's years of practice on a help desk. If you see fundamental requirements to work on a help desk, number one, you need to give the answer right away. Number two, it needs to be absolutely accurate. Number three, it's got to be useless. Because, I mean, you know, how many people know where Fiji is, right? So anyway, I gave a snappy answer on all of that. But I just checked my phone. I got big green blobs for all the Amber alerts and the other two kinds of alerts, so I'm still bummed that I didn't get that. It could be that I'm still on G3, and I think AT&T is shutting down the G3 network. I can't get a great answer on my phone will finally roll over and die. The fish tanker, in my case, maybe just float to the top of my bed and bounce off the ceiling. But anyway, and Jessica, I too want to know how a wintertime cruise in Alaska. That's going to be interesting. And you wouldn't rent a car, you'd rent a snow camp, and so I want to see how that goes. The other thing too, thank you for the reminder, I've got to get on something. I just forgot about it until you mentioned that, and that is my passport expired just before COVID started, and I didn't get it, get it renewed. So if I was to go to Canada right now, I've had no problem getting into Canada. It's so much like getting back into the United States. So I'm glad you reminded me, although I don't anticipate taking any trips in. Anyway, to all of the household there in Tacoma, I say congratulations on the negative COVID test. Of course, some people seem to be getting its latest flavor, and, you know, it didn't seem to be that bad. My neighbors had it. I was very concerned about them. Next thing I know, they're bouncing around out in the snow. I mean, it was like a bad cold or something to them. And so I guess it's just important, once again, to choose your parents carefully and be young and healthy. Everyone on the net should, you know, do both of those things. So anyway, with that, I will go ahead and turn it back to our net control, Dave. This is Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. Take it away, Dave. 87 DYN here in Lake City. Oh, I just got a weather alert from the Weather Channel that said advisory of dense storm in the Seattle area. I've also got a temperature reading of 72 degrees for your information. But the Tonga thing, I don't know, it could be disastrous for the Olympics because the Tonga bobsled team has competed in the past, so I don't know if they'll be able to surf in as opposed to racing, and so we'll have to see that happen. This is Dave 87DYN. So let's go to Joel. SSI. KJ7 SXR here. Well, Lee, congratulations on capturing that barometer reading. I'm impressed. That's pretty cool. Something I wouldn't never even thought to look for, but yeah, that's impressive. And Ron was mentioning the fog. And my son was saying it was foggy here last night. He
got a couple new dogs, and he takes them out kind of late at night because he's a night owl, and he said it was getting pretty foggy. I'm kind of an early bird, so I was in bed before the fog rolled in, and it was gone by the time I was up this morning. But it's definitely here now. I can see it looking at my security camera monitor, all the little fog particles blowing around by the cameras. And yeah, if Wade's got an extra down converter, he wouldn't mind loading me, and if you get it to Ron, and I meet with Ron and get it from him, and yeah, I'd be interested to give it a try and see if I could pick up a picture and see how that works. And that's about it. I'll send it back to net. KJ7, SXR.
KJ7, SXR, thanks for joining the net. Let's move up to Ron, KJ7, 2KU.
Okay, thank you. KD72KU. Well, Joel, you'll need an old analog TV. And let's see, what channel do you put it on? I forgot. Is it 8? Channel 8? Yeah, James gives me a thumb up. So the down converter will convert it to an old analog TV, channel 8. And then you'll need an antenna to receive it. So you'll need a 1.5 gigahertz antenna. I don't know if anybody's got an extra one or not. But kind of doubt it. There's been a few. So we had a couple of them that were, 16 element or 20 element or something. Well, let's see, those are 434. No, we had one big long 1.2 that had about 30 elements on it. Does anybody know where that's at? Does Gary have it? Maybe Gary has it. Yeah, Dave's nodding up there. Oh, maybe Gary's not using it. Maybe we could get it from Gary, and maybe Joel could try it with that down converter in an old TV. But okay, let's see, what else? Wade, that store is like Home Goods and Hobby Lobby all rolled into one, and a couple other things. And as far as the Northern Lights, so our wedding anniversary is on February 20th, and for quite a few years, well, forever, we've celebrated with another couple whose wedding anniversary is the same day, just different year. And I mentioned a couple of times about on our anniversary flying up to Fairbanks so we could see the lights, but no one thought that was a good idea. Although we did take the train and we went up to, where did we go? We went up in Canada by Williams Lake, way up there on the train in February. That was a fun trip. That was a really fun trip. It was just one day, taking us one day from Vancouver to get up there. And I know I've told you the story, I'm sure, but the train stopped at every little podunk place, and people got on and got off. And so we stopped at this one place, and this lady got on the train, and there was a half a dozen of the local town folks down there to see her off. And as we were pulling out, they all turned their back to the train and dropped their pants and gave us a moon shot. About 8 or 10 people from town. That was so funny. She was so embarrassed. But it was fun. We went by one of the lakes up there, and there was all kind of little shacks on the lake. They were ice fishing. Like I say, it was a real fun trip. The train trip. All right. Let's see. I look at my notes here. Oh, and Joanne's niece's husband, they live in Centralia. Okay, I think it's back on. The last thing I said, if you didn't hear me, was that Joanne's niece's husband, Peter, who lives in Centralia, has COVID. We just found out today. And the rest of the people in the family, his daughter and wife tested negative, but they may test positive in a couple of days. So I guess that's it over. Oh, and I was going to ask Wade, he hasn't talked about it for a while, his Bitcoin mining, how his mining operation is coming, and maybe Bert, are you Bitcoin mining too? I don't know, I forgot now, but maybe Wade can bring us up to date on that. All right, back to that KD7QT.
87 CKU, that's good at Chesterton, 7UHH.
And now I got to erase everything I said in the last round because I had to go to my email and look at the plan, because Sylvia kind of made this plan without my knowledge. It was kind of a surprise. And so it's actually September 16th, so it's not in the dead of winter, which actually makes me a lot happier. It would be much better to do it than in the dead of winter. But we are going to do the White Pass train, which I can't remember where it leaves out of, like Skagway or something, and it takes you up in the mountains, and we're going to do that excursion. And Fiji, when we were last in Hawaii, went to a really great luau, and at the end of the luau, they said that these dancers who were all showing off some of their dances, they all fly to Fiji to go compete in dance competitions, and they explained that that's about as far as like coming from Seattle to Hawaii. So it's another like 7 hours southwest of Hawaii is where Fiji is. Now that just gives you a little more definition where Tonga is. So very cool. My license here expires in February, so I got those mine and Sylvia's are on the same day, so we got to get those things renewed pretty darn quick before those go out of balance and I can't talk to you anymore. So I got to get on that stick. Anyhow, it's been a nice net. This is Jessica KF7 UHF.
KF7 UHF, let's go to Lee, M7KC. Okay, I'm in here. I get in? Okay. M7KC, we're going to put on to us. Well, I just took a look at Chris' blog again, and it's 5642 miles. Now, I don't know if that's nautical miles or statute miles. It's a long way. And I would think that pressure wave would travel probably the speed of sound. I'm guessing there. I think it would. So anyway, yeah, I'm flat out amazed. Like I say, if I hadn't got the tip from Bird and then read the blog, and known the time, and then I've got the David Sullivan software here where I can write in and I can drill right down on any part of that record I want, and so forth. And I looked and I fell off my chair. I went, oh my goodness, you know. Well, listen, let me share a screen again and see what I've got here for, let me find. Here we go. Okay, this is the one at 434. This is Joe's place down here, and this is Cougar. And this is the Fresnel Zone 1 here. So there's a lot of stuff here that could cause reflection. These are, I think, bodies of water, but I couldn't figure out what they were when I went back and looked at Google Earth. So save me, I couldn't figure out what these things are here. It looks like there might be one up here too. Anyway, and let's see, I also have one at 1253, and the same sort of stuff down here. You notice it's about, let's see, here's the 40-mile mark right here. So I think it's about 43 or 42 miles, something like that. And Chandler, I think, was the furthest away with really good video, and he was about 30. So probably Joe is, I'm sure you could put some kind of a picture in. You know, Chandler didn't look all this much different. I got one of them too someplace. Anyway, so with that, I will stop this share and get out of this and so forth. And we're getting close to time, so it's always a fun night for me. Thanks a lot, everybody. Great seeing you tonight. And Jim out there at Covington, I didn't say hi to you. Good to hear you tonight, too. And my timer's run out, so it's 7KC back to you, Dave. And 7KC, let's get it first. And 7, yes. Okay, well, let's see, a couple things. I forget who was talking about the speed of the pressure wave. It may have been Lee, up around the speed of sound. I think I saw something somewhere indicating it was traveling at about 660 miles per hour, so maybe like right below the speed of sound somewhere. Then I think Ron was asking about the cryptocurrency mining. Yeah, I'm still doing that. It's made about $1,900 so far. It slowed down a bit from when it first started. I think Wade ended up getting 2 of the minors, so I think he's actually either equaled or surpassed me in earnings now with what he did, since he's got double the power running on it. And, passport renewal. I read something online that they may start having online passport renewal soon, so you don't have to fill out the form and mail it in. Though, I don't know if that's available yet, or if it's like in the future. However, that may be for people whose passports haven't expired yet. So if you let yours expire, you probably have to do it the old-fashioned way, I would guess. But maybe not. Just check online. There may be a way to do it. Anyway, that's probably it for now. So 73, everyone. This is Bert in Marysville, and 7CS. Back to that.
And 7CS, let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I misjudged where we were on the check-in list, and so I shut down the video already. But yeah, as for the passport, mine expired last August, and I noticed it before it expired, but then I didn't get it done. So I'm afraid that's something that I'll have to take care of, and I'm sure I'll have to do that in person somewhere. I seem to remember years ago, like 25 plus years ago, when I was in Chicago, there you could get your passport renewed by mail if it wasn't expired. But that was all before 9/11 as well, so maybe they tightened things up since then. Who knows where it is now? Not me, certainly. I've been using KN95 for months and months now, as soon as I got my hands on one. And I haven't bothered to try and get N95 because the way I understood it, the KN95 are manufactured to the same specs as the N95, just at least until just now, from what I'm hearing you guys say. But up until now, they've not been authorized by the FCC, so you call them N95. And the only difficulty I have with those is that if it's cold out and I'm coming into to the store, there'll be enough air coming up toward my glasses that it fogs up my glasses. Other than that, I find it to be comfortable and I can wear it for long periods of time. I wore it for several hours when I went to a basketball game before Omicron kicked in and I sort of started hibernating here at home again. And yeah, the Northern Lights, still haven't seen the Northern Lights. It's sort of on my bucket list. Hope to see it soon. And with that, I'll say 73, everybody. Back to that, K9PQ.
K9PQ, and we've got 2 minutes left for Richard, 87ICS.
Thanks for everyone turning out tonight. It's really been, sure, a lot of fun, and especially what a treat, Lee. I mean, doesn't get any better than that, for sure. And so now that I know that with the speed of the wave was to get from Tonga to Lee, so yeah, 1:30. So we for sure, it was 1:30 our time because I was up when it happened, and so really now 4:30 Alaska time. Well, Anchorage, Alaska, and the Seattle area might be the same distance, or close to, or I should say Port Angeles and Anchorage, Alaska might actually be the same distance, but I don't know. You'd have to measure it on a globe or have some kind of way to measure it. So it's just about it. Finally, I'll have to report that I do have a member of our family with COVID down in Texas. My sister-in-law, who they needed to retire by selling their house up here and buying cheaper down there, and so and the anti-vaxxers, and so of course they were unvaccinated, and now they're real sick. So I guess I'll find out more about that tomorrow when Debbie, my wife, meets up with my mother-in-law, her mom, and gets a report. I think there's a little bit of embarrassment with respect to telling us what's going on down there. So anyway, Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, oh my gosh. So 73, everybody, I'll set it back to net control, K7ATS. K7ATS, I guess we could give you condolences, but probably a little too early for that. We'd like to thank the sailors and operators of the 08 machine, the Seapack Repeater Group, for allowing us to utilize the 08 machine for our audio transmissions for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, held on Thursdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, 87WYM, signing off the network in 901. Good evening all. One more thing regarding passport renewal. Let me make sure I've got the repeater. Sounds like I do. I have always renewed mine through the mail. I got expedited handling through my employer, but www.cibt.com. Charlie India Bravo Tango.com. See if that's any for someone who needs promotions there. Thanks everyone, good night, and 7QO. N7KC disconnected. KJ7SXR, KJ7SXR, are you still there? Yep, KJ7SXR here. You could hang around on Zoom for a while if you wanted, because we usually hang around for another half an hour. Yeah, I'll come back on for a little bit. Let me, give me a second, I'll log back in. Okay, because sometimes we talk about things that we don't talk about over the air. All right, KD72K, you are clear.